to everybody, amen. It is time for another takeoff show. I pray, amen, that you are up, you are at 'em, you are making plans to be as productive as you need to be on today. So, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead, like and share. Go ahead, share and like. I encourage you on this morning to remind yourself, amen, friends fly free with us on the Takeoff Show. So go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, take this moment right now. Invite a friend or two, amen, family members, amen. Go ahead. If you know somebody that needs some motivation, go ahead right now and let them know it's about that time. We're about to take off with another conversation that I pray will motivate you to be the best you that you can be. Once again, it is time for the Takeoff Show. I am your motivational pilot. I go by the name of Reverend Dr. Kelcey West. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ourselves ready. Y'all prepare the flight cabin this morning, amen. Start letting people on, amen. Let them get to their seats so they can go ahead, put their seatbelts on, because I'm ready to take off. I see smooth skies today, amen. We're going to reach a cruising altitude, and then we're going to reach our destination prayerfully, very, very safely on today. So, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, get yourselves ready. It is time for the Takeoff Show. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I'm ready. I pray that you're ready. Once again, let's take off. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Bringing you greetings once again from the cockpit, bringing you greetings, amen, from the lab, from the studio this morning, amen. I'm always reading, always allowing myself to just look for that which God would have me to talk about. And so on today, I need to ask a very personal but important question. How you living? That's it. I need somebody to write that down however you want to say it. If you want to be grammatically correct, you can go ahead and type in the comments, how are you living? But on today, amen, I'm feeling good on today, so I'm just shortening everything. How you living? That's a very, very important question, because if the truth be told, some of us, amen, are going through life right now and we are not living. I'm going to say that again. We are existing. We are doing the best we can to exist day by day. And so in the comments on today, amen, every chance you get, I want you to ask somebody how you living. I want us to encourage each other, amen, especially as we're getting older. I want us to really stop and just start to ask the question, am I living or am I just existing? I know, amen, we walk around, we call each other queens, we call each other kings, but the question that we have to ask is, am I living like what? Am I really living like a queen? Am I really living like a king? Or am I just existing day to day? Am I working myself to death? And a good hard day's work never killed anybody, but in the midst of working after you get off work, what do you do to relax? What do you do to live? Ladies and gentlemen, that's the question on today. I read a quote early this morning, and that quote, amen, it really sparked today's show. This is what the quote said, amen. It said, we travel not to escape life, but for life not to escape us. Oh, my Lord. That particular quote is from an anonymous writer, amen. It was in my AARP magazine. Did y'all hear what I said? That did not come out of Ebony or Jet. It did not come out of Right On or Word Up. That particular quote came from AARP. I read my AARP magazines because guess what? I'm at that age, amen, where I need to make sure I am living, amen, every day to the best of my abilities. Why? Because the older we get, the faster the clock ticks and tocks. Am I talking to anybody who feel like you just took your Christmas tree down? And am I talking to anybody, amen, who just it feel like we just had Thanksgiving? Am I talking to anybody who just had to tell some kids ringing your doorbell, we're out of candy? Ladies and gentlemen, we are into the holiday season. It is now October, which means November is knocking at our door, which means December is right around the corner. And so the question must be asked on today, how are you living? Ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, I am doing my very best every chance I get to live. I know people want me to work. I know people want me to lead projects. But guess what, y'all? After 30 years of grinding, after 30 years of hustling and flowing, I'm trying to make sure I slow down just a little bit, amen. So on Fridays, I can pick up my golf clubs, amen. It's some other projects and some other hobbies I want to add to my repertoire. Why? So I can live. I'm not turning my back on anybody. I am not losing my love and my passion for the Lord Almighty. Let me go ahead and stop for a moment and say, Lord, just want to thank you for another day. Thank you for the privilege, amen, to not only see the day, but to receive new mercy. And now, Lord, let me utilize the strength that you've given me to live the life that you have created for me to live. Amen. That's my morning appreciation. Watch this from a biblical standpoint. I do believe the good Lord, he said, I came to give you life more abundantly. I need to stop and ask somebody this question on today. If the Lord came to give you life and life more abundantly, are you taking advantage of that promise? The good Lord, amen, Jesus said, I came to give you life more abundantly. So ladies and gentlemen, whether or not my bills are paid, whether or not, amen, I'm driving something new, whether or not I'm moving into something new, I got to live, y'all. And so this whole conversation today is to ask the question, how are you living? What are you doing, amen? One of my favorite hood movies, amen. Good morning, Sister Cole. My cousin, amen. Dante, what's happening, brother? Love you, man. Tell everybody back in the yak, amen. I love all of my cousins, amen. Big Keith, what's happening, man? Congrats on everything you got going on. I see how you living. Roscoe, what's happening? Roscoe Sullivan is on the call. He went on my very first HBCU tour, so we've been rocking for 30 years. Love you for life, Roscoe. And so the question must be asked on today, how are you living? How are you living? Watch this. I think I just got a text, amen, from Jay Spade. What's happening? Okay, let me get on top of this. Okay, so watch this. The question must be asked on today, how are you living? And so I want you to look at some things on today. I'm going to show you some different things on today. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to understand this is my passport. I want you, if you do not have a passport, to get you a passport, because after you get your passport, it may change how you dream. One of the reasons why I had to get a passport is because I dream internationally. I do not dream locally. I do not dream nationally. I dream internationally. There are some places I want to go. There are some places I want to escape to. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not have a passport, get you a passport, amen, and possibly start collecting stamps. Start collecting, amen. I collect coffees from different places. Every place I visit, amen. I don't need a trinket. I don't need a postcard. I need some coffee. And so everywhere I go, I like to collect coffee. To date, my favorite coffee, amen, is Ethiopia. That Ethiopian coffee, man, that is strong coffee. When we went to Ethiopia, they told me, they said the cups were half this size. He said, you only need half a cup of this size. I said, man, I'm a professional coffee drinker. I'm a connoisseur of coffee. He said, sir, please, you only need one. I said, please, sir, give me a double. I'm a grown man. I had 2 cups of Ethiopian coffee. Carmen will tell you I stayed up the whole night. I could not blink. I just sat in front of the TV, just clicking the remote control because the coffee was that strong. Oh, it was good, but it was strong. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are a traveler, amen, I wish you would put in the comments, amen, you are a traveler. Sister Cole is flying with us today. She's a travel agent. She's a travel advisor. She's a travel coordinator. I'm not sure of all the different terms, Lakiko, so go ahead and put your title out there and let people know how they can connect with you so they could possibly take advantage of their passports. Do you know that there's so many people with passports that they don't use, that never use them? There's so many people, amen, racking up frequent flyer miles that they do not use, amen. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to live. I'm 53. I'm born in 1971, graduated with the awesome class of 1989 from Pontiac Central. Shouts out to my Huskies from Northern. Nevertheless, we're not getting younger, man. We are now our fathers. We are now, amen. Some of us are now grandfathers, which means we have to live, amen. We are kind of past that point, amen, where people say, man, they went too soon. No, we at that age, man, where we got to live this next decade, amen. Our next big birthday, we 60. I'm going to say that again. The next big birthday, we're 60. And so in my 50s, I want to live in my 50s like I did in my 20s. Somebody not understanding what I'm saying. When I was 20, in my 20s, amen, I just traveled. In my 20s, amen, I was just curious, amen, what's happening in that city. I'm talking about my first trip to Atlanta. I'm talking about my first trip to Baltimore. I'm talking about those first trips, amen, where I just wanted to see, and I was a tourist, man. I'm talking about the first time I went to Atlanta. I was so excited to go to the Lenox Mall. First time I went to Baltimore, I was so excited to eat in the harbor. I'm talking about those trips, amen, when I finally got to go to D.C. as an adult, and I got a chance, amen, to just walk, amen, from museum to museum. But as an adult, amen, that's where I'm at in my 50s, amen. That's why this quote moved me today. The anonymous writer in AARP said, we travel not to escape, but for life not to escape us. Ladies and gentlemen, do not let life escape you, man. We can get so caught up and focused, man. I know right now it's voting season, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm not running. And so I can't allow, amen, all of the political stuff, amen, to make me lose days and weeks. I thought about it on yesterday, man. I was in a series of meetings, and I can't really say I took time to do something for me on yesterday. I need to ask you this question. Come clean. There are 365 days in the year. I need somebody to be honest with me. On last year, how many days, amen, did you live? I'm going to say it again. There are 365 days in a year. Last year, how many days did you live? I'm going to ask the question one more time in case the people in the back of the plane didn't hear me. There are 365 days that the Lord blessed us to see on last year. 365 times the Lord said, good morning, here is some new mercy. 365 times the Lord said, I am here to supply your every need. 365 times the Lord said, you have not because you ask not. 365 days the Lord said, if you knock on this door, I can open it for you. 365 days the Lord said, you ought to seek me, amen, with your whole heart. How many days did you live? I didn't say how many days did you exist, but how many days did you take time to just live? How many days last year, amen, did you just take your shoes off, man, and allow your feet to feel some grass? Talk back to me, somebody. How many days last year did you just get in your car and just take a ride, amen? No destination, just ride, amen, just to see something new. 365 days. How many times, amen, did you go get your fishing rod and just cast a little while in the water? 365 days. How many times did you go take in a show to see your favorite artist or to just check out somebody new? 365 days. How many times, amen, did you just go to a restaurant just to try a new appetizer, a new entree, and a new dessert? 365 days last year. How many times did you take time to enjoy? I didn't say smoke. I said enjoy a good cigar. And if the matter of fact, go ahead, let me light that for you. Because some of y'all, you ain't lit a cigar in so long, you didn't forget how to cut, let alone light your own cigar. So let me go ahead and get that for you. Amen. Because guess what? It is never too early to live. It's never too late to live. I'm talking to somebody. When was the last time, amen, you were able to really enjoy your coffee? I ain't talking about just drink it, amen. I'm talking about enjoy it, sip it, taste it, amen. When was the last time you really took a good cup of coffee and you really just played with it? I'm talking about where you were just trying some cinnamon. When was the last time you were really just trying to see which creamer you like? Ladies and gentlemen, are you living? I see you, Harvey Perry. When was the last, how many days last year did you really just juice something, amen? How many to see what fruits and berries, amen, amen, are really to your liking, amen? Are you living or just you existing? On this morning, I want to encourage not just my people, but all people. We got to live. It is nothing worse than seeing people, amen, stress themselves to death. It is nothing worse than watching people worry themselves to death. I wish somebody would say that's not my story. I wish somebody would understand in this season of my life, amen, I am giving back people their stress. I am giving people back, amen, their problems. I'm giving back people, amen, the questions they really don't want the God-given answers to. Why? Because I don't want to leave here prematurely. I don't want, amen, the message to be, amen, West stressed himself to death. I do not want that to be the headline. So what am I doing? I am living, amen. I am working to live. I need somebody to come clean. I am working to live from my 40s. In my 40s, I was working day and night. I'm going to say it again. I was listening to Michael Jackson. I was working day and night. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that's how I spent my 40s. But I refuse. I'm not even going to say the devil is a lie. I was a lie, thinking, amen, that I had to do it that way. No, that's not the way. Jesus said, I came to give you life, life more abundantly. And so I want to experience his creation. I want to travel, amen. I want to see, amen, some of the national parks. I want to see more of the museums. I want to, man, y'all have no idea. I'm not going to be right till I get to Egypt. I'm not going to be right until I see the pyramids. I'm not going to be right, amen. There's certain parts of Africa I want to see. Shouts out to my friends and family who are inviting me to come to Kenya in 2025. Shouts out to my sons who want me to come back to Zambia. Man, I promise you, man, the pictures they showed us growing up, they lied to us. And man, when they showed us Africa, man, they lied to us. If you've never been to Africa, I promise you, if Africa was LA, I would be in Africa every weekend. They lied to us, man. There are some beautiful places where you can live. As a matter of fact, don't let my paper get right, because if my paper get right, I promise you I'm going to have dual citizenship. Why? Because I like to live. That would be a beautiful place for me to live, not just exist, but live. Talk back to me, somebody. How are you living? I opened up talking about travel, amen. That's why I showcased, amen. This is my passport. Let me show you, amen. This is another gift. My wife be spoiling me, man. This is a gift. Somebody going, what's that box on? Because some of y'all don't know. Let me show you real quick. I keep telling y'all, amen, I'm sick with these cards. This is my card holder, amen. I keep 2 fresh decks in here, amen. This is a gift from my wife. When was the last time you allowed yourself to just play a good game of spades? When was the last time you turned your phone off and you said, do not disturb me? I'm getting ready to play some bid whist with some really beautiful people. When was the last time you really allowed yourself to just engage in the hobbies that put a smile on your face? And it may not be cards. Cards may not be your hobby. It might be puzzles. I don't know. Tell me. Put it in the comments. What are your hobbies? What do you need to get back to? Amen. A new hobby for me right now is golf. That's why I keep telling people I'm learning the game of golf. Don't rush me to get out there and talk business, because that's going to take me away from why I'm doing it. Right now, I am learning to play golf because I need a hobby. I'm going to say it again. Preaching is not a hobby. Writing Bible studies is not a hobby. Amen. That's the call that's on my life. But when I'm not doing that, amen, I need to be able to find some peace somewhere. And so I go and I'm learning how to hit the ball straight. I'm learning how to putt. I'm learning the difference between my drivers. Amen. I'm learning, amen, how to chip. Amen. I'm learning these things. And so I'm doing that. Why? Because I want to live like a king. I'm going to say it again. I want to live like a king, and I want to encourage somebody else to live. And so what are you doing? Let me go back. One of my favorite hood movies, I keep telling y'all, I love certain hood movies, man. Paid in Full is number one. Deuces is going up the charts real quick. But one of my favorite hood movies is True to the Game. I love True to the Game, and I love the first one. I know it's a trilogy, but I like the first one. And I love how in True to the Game, my man says, he's talking to his girl Gina Rollins, and he said, I thought you were going to let me read something that would stimulate my mind. Ladies and gentlemen, what are you doing at this stage of your life to keep your mind stimulated? I remember, amen, when my mama was living, I told my mama, I said, you got to live. You got to get out the house. You just sitting in this house and you frustrated, your blood pressure going up. Put some clothes on. You need some girlfriends, mama. You got to get out and live. I remember having that conversation with my mother. That's how the older women's ministry started at our church, because my mom did not have a sisterhood like that. I need somebody to give a shout out to your brotherhood, your sisterhood. If you don't have one, stop acting like you don't need one, because it is nothing, amen, like having a friend or two. A friend or two. It may not be a full New Edition group. You may have to start with a Belle Biv DeVoe, but life is beautiful when you can share it with people. I'm going to say it again. If you got a spouse, I double dog dare you on today to ask your spouse, are we living? I challenge you to ask your spouse today, do I help you live or do I help you exist? I double dog dare you to ask your spouse today, am I helping you live or I'm helping you just prepare to die? Talk back to me, somebody, because so often people talk about death more than they talk about life. I hear people talking about retirement, I'm putting all this money away and I'm doing this and doing that, but you're not talking about how you're going to live today. You may not live to see that age. You may not live to be able to pull from that account. So guess what? The same way Jesus said, I have to work while it is day. Forgive you, boy. I got to live while it is day. I'm going to say it again. If the Lord told me don't worry about tomorrow, and I'm not saying I shouldn't put something away, but I can't put everything away, so I can't live today. I'm going to say it again. Some of y'all need to go ahead and put some cheese on your burger today. Some of you need to go ahead and get the special fries you want, because you are telling yourself you can't do it until you're 65. You can't do it till you're 75. Well, guess what? You may not make it to that age. That's all I'm going to say. You may not make it. And so I don't want to meet my maker, and my maker asks me, how come you didn't go to the places I gave you the passport to go to? How come you didn't smoke the cigar in the cigar lounges I gave you access to? How come, amen, you didn't let some of the most powerful people light your cigar? I put you in those rooms. Why were you too busy to live? I'm talking to somebody. It is a sad day when we help ourselves, we push ourselves to be too busy to live. What are you doing in this season to stimulate your mind? When was the last time you read a good book? I'm not talking about a book for school. I'm not talking about a book for your job. I'm not talking about a book, amen, for church. But when was the last time you just read a book that just stimulated your mind and you said, man, that was a good read. That book motivated me. That book allowed me to escape. That book allowed me to see something different. When was the last time you listened to a good album? I'm